Hi, Joe here over at WoolieCottage.com. Sorry, I just looked out my window then, and you know from above you can see your front garden. I never realised how many weeds were growing out there. That's awful. Just not had the chance to get outside and do anything. So welcome to those that are watching later on. I'll say hi to those as they come along. So I'm just going to quickly, I thought I would do, I've got to blend up roll legs. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry it's a bit dark. I forgot to put my light on. Yeah, I've got to blend up Rolex for listing and hiding on the shop. So I thought, well, I might as well do them while I'm stood having an hour with you. I'm not going to do many. I'm just going to get a couple done because I've got quite a lot up there. There's quite a few sets of Rolex on the website already at the moment, but I wanted to get a few because on the website, when you go on there and I've got the categories like Art Bat's page, Hand-Dyed John's page. Hiya, Anne. How are you doing, lovely? What else I've got on there? Handmade bags, those sort of things. So there's all the different categories. Well, at the top for the next fortnight is Nutcracker Virtual Market page. So there's things being added to the shop at the moment, but they're being hidden. But they're all going to be under the Nutcracker page. So when I do my virtual market, 2 weeks this Sunday coming. No, it's 2 weeks away. So we've got one more Sunday to go, and then it'll be a Christmas virtual market, which is on the 24th of November, over on my Instagram account. And you catch me over there. So everything that I'll be showing off on that will be, you can go straight to the Nutcracker page, and you'll find everything that I'll be showing at the time. Obviously other things as well, but those are the new ones, the new stuff that are going on there. Work, lost your voice yesterday, oh, a day off work, I lost my voice yesterday, so I'm resting today. Tell you what, every time if my voice goes all croaky, Phil always says, oh, here we go, peace and quiet. I'm like, do you know, just because I've lost my voice doesn't mean I can't make a ruckus. Tell you what, looking forward to this market. Liz says, yeah, you liked it last year when I did my my virtual market. You said it was the closest thing you could get to meet me in person. I need to come down to Wales. I haven't been to Wales for years. I haven't been to Wales for years. I used to go camping in Wales all the time growing up as a kid. Last time I went to Wales was 2015, and we drove up to Scotland to go and see my kids. And we picked my daughter up. Well, we took my eldest lad up to Fort William. And then on the way back, we picked up my daughter, who was nearly 15 at the time, and took her camping. And oh, it rained. When doesn't it rain? I don't think I've ever camped in Wales, even since I was a kid, that it's not rained for at least half the time that I've been down there. But this wasn't like torrential rain. This was the fine rain that gets you wet, which I should be used to because I've lived in Scotland at least half of my life. So I am interpreting Queen Clara's dress from the Nutcracker. So on the last scenes of the movie, because I watched it, you know, I did my research. On the last scenes of the movie, she and I think I'm going to have to go and change my glitter over me, Angelina. You're in my way, love. I'm just going to divide this up into four. Bear with me. I do four sets of 3 when I'm blending up for Rolex. So I blend them up. I weigh them out. I blend them up in, and I can get 3 Rolex off each board. So I end up with a pack of 12. And I don't do doubles of anything. What I'd make is what you've got, and then that's it. If you don't grab it first, tough luck. Tough luck's all I say. So yeah, so we've got this creamy colour on the Nutcracker movie. Has anybody watched it? It was a few years ago since I last did the Nutcracker. But on her dress at the very end, when she becomes the queen, it's like a shimmery creamy colour, and it's got hints of peach, hints of yellow in there, like very soft lemon. And I do want to see if I can find some very soft blue. But I might actually do that because on the dress it's like got these little, she must have LED lights in the dress because they glow out. So I'm thinking maybe I should use a blue Angelina instead of a blue wool. We will all have to watch it now. You will. You have to go off and watch it. Go off and watch the Nutcracker. The one that's got, was it Mackenzie Foy or something like Macaulay Foy is the name of the lass. It's the actress. It's got, if Phil was here now, which he should be, because he's downstairs, he'd remind me of the names of the actors. Helen Mirren's in it as well. That's the one you want to look for. Not the cartoon, but the movie. It's actually really good. I've watched it twice now. I watched it the first time when I was dying up the other week, and I took some notes, but I didn't take down enough notes. And then I got him to sit and watch it. There he is, Helen Mirren. Then I sat again and watched it, and he watched it with me, sort of, kind of. He was playing his games on his phone. Keira Knightley, yeah, she plays the Sugar Plum Fairy, and I can't believe she's evil. Sugar Plum Fairy is evil. So, yes, so I had to take down notes of different colours. So, I think with this, so I'm using that colour. This is Superwash Merino. And we've got that merino. So, there's like peach, the hints of peach in there. There's hints of lemon in there. It's a creamy coloured dress, and then there's hints of blue. But I don't know if I want to go down the blue route. I've got some natural Tussar silk that's not been bleached or dyed. So I'm just going to divvy that up into 4 sections. It's just how I work, guys. But what I'll do is I'll demo this one, and then I'll pull out the colours for the next one. And then we've got this. This is my favourite. Do you know this stuff I squirrel away? It's just a merino, but it's got this opalescent Angelina in it. And it's my favourite. It's my absolute favourite, and I hate using it because it's usually like once I've used it, it's gone. It's gone, and I can't get it anymore. Now I do have blue that I've put in with this, and again, this has got stellina in it, but it's a luxurious blend. It's merino, and it's got red airy silk in there. The hints of blue, so I think I might get away with that. And then I think I'm sure I've got some opalescent Angelina. I don't want to be too much, but I want that feeling of it being luxurious. So I think I will just Crystal Angelina, there we go. Oh, what's the other one I've got? Hold on a second. I am here, guys. Aurora, Pink Tickle, Gold. No, not that one. Yeah, I've got 2 here. There's the Crystalina Angelina, but that's got hints of blue in it. And then you've got the Aurora Angelina. And when I look at, yeah, it's still not quite the same. I just can't get a hold of that Angelina. There's only one place that I've ever found Angelina that's practically like that, and that's from Adelaide Walker. And they do a white Angelina, and it's more iridescent like that than these ones. And I keep forgetting to order some whenever I've got any pennies, which isn't often these days, guys. You're not the only one, me too. So, right, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to put that to one side and that to one side. I've got my brush, I've got my dowels, and I've got my board. So, let's see if I can move you out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing from that angle, and I'll keep an eye on what you're doing as much as I can. Okay, so when it comes to silky stuff, I never put them on the first layer. But what I will do is I will start off with this. Now, normally I wouldn't put Angelina on first, but because it's blended in the wool, I'm hoping that I won't end up leaving loads of trails behind. So I'm just going to add that as my first layer now and save a bit all the way down. There we go. So I'm going to save that bit because I'm going to now put on my creamy colour, and I'm going to just blend it straight down all across the board. Oh. Now, if you find that you're getting clumps coming off like I've just had then, just split the section you're working with. Just hang that over my handle a minute so it's out of my way. Split the section you're working with. Take your clumpy bit off that's trying to come off on its own, and then work with that, because you want to work with, it's the opposite of when you're spinning. When you're spinning, you find that the wool, the staple length of your wool, and you find that the wool won't move when you're spinning, or you can't draft it out because your hand's too far up and it's catching on to the staple length, so it's squashing it all together. But if you bring your hand down where the staple length's gone, then you can pull it quite easily. But when I'm drafting on a blending board, I want my hand sort of mid-range, so I can do a loose enough grip where it comes down the board. But at the same time, I don't want to lose lots of clumps in there. So I end up with wedges of it, and when I go to pack it all down, I end up with lumpy bits on my board. So now I can get the smaller section, and again, work it down the board, find my bold patches in there. There we go. So I've got my bold patches. I'm going to get my packing brush, this one, and I'm going to drag it down. I could go that way, but I don't feel like I get the same pressure in it. So I like to come down with my brush. Now, this is a Louis one, okay, that came with a blending board. Now, if you look at that, it's just a hand floor brush, isn't it? Like, you can imagine a big dowel going in there, and it's like a child's mop. Just get yourself something like that instead of using a small hand carder or a dog brush. So what I'm going to do next, go back in with this iridescent Angelina Merino blend. Find my spots. If anyone's got any questions or comments or whatever, pop them down below. I'll answer them as I go along. Now I'm going to go in with this blue blend with the red Erie silk in there. It's not red, it's just called red Erie silk, because it's got, when it's in its raw form, you'll see it's got like this bronzy sort of yellowy look to it, like an antique gold to a point. So I'll put that there. It's a very expensive fibre to buy, red Erie silk, but it is gorgeous. Okay, so again, I'm going to pack that down. Now I'm going to go in with my soft jello, but I'm just going to plonk it anywhere on the board. I'm going to put that to one side. Then I'm going to go with my peach, and again, just anywhere on the board. I'll definitely look out for boldy patches while I'm here. See, there we go. There's a piece that's come out as a clump. Right, now back in with my yellow. And then along there. Back in with my peachy colour again. There, that's looking nice. Pack that down so the fibres squashing together. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of this Aurora Crystallina Angelina. I know I've got lots of Angelina in here, but it's just the effect that I want. But I like to put my Angelina within the roll lag, because sometimes when you're spinning a roll lag, all the outside bits come out all in one go, all the nice bits, and then when you get to the end or the center section of your roll lag, there's none of the pretty stuff left behind. There we go. So now I'm going to get my tissue silk, because it can be quite slippery when you're working with it. So I like to make sure that it's right in there, caught up with the wool fibres, so that when you do spin with it, potentially and hopefully, you won't come out with massive clumps of it all in one go. So we're down to my cream colour now, and I'm going to put that on there. There we go. And again, nearly finished. So I weigh out in the basket on my scale the amount of wool that I want to use, and roughly for doing my roll lags, I'd go roughly about 120 grams, because I do 12 roll lags, so 3 on each board. So we're roughly using about 30 grams or so each blending board. It's not exact science, but that's just like how I like to work. So when I'm packing the Rolags in the bags, which I'll show you in now, they look neat and tidy. Is that a bag of? No, it's not 12. 6, 9. No, these ones up here. Oh. So when I put them together in their bags, they sit like that. Okay. Sometimes I do them in packs of 9. All depends on what mood I'm in. But the majority of the time, I like to work in 3s on here and just split my Rolags up into packs of 12 to get 120 grams. If I'm working with 9 Rolags, I'll do this 3 times, and I'll probably try and stick around about 100 grams, and that gives me a little bit of leeway either side. That's the lovely one, the blue and grey. Yeah, it's called, I'm thinking something, is it blueberry or is it blueberry muffin or something on World of Wool? That's what that one's called, that blend. It's got gold Angelina, merino and red Erie silk. It might have something else in there, but I can't remember off the top of my mind. Right, so I'm ready for starting to get these together. So you get 3. I'm working with 3 dowels, but I never used to. I used to just work with 2 large knitting needles, about a size 10 to 15. And I'm just going to roll over that top one. And when I'm working with my dowels, I make sure that there's one length sticks out more than the other. And there is a reason for that if you're not sure and you've never tried Rolags before. So I just gently lift up the blend off the board and start to drag it down so I can feel it pulling against the tines. There we go. And all that Angelina's coming out, and I'm getting the look that I'm looking for Queen Clara's dress. And I hope some point today or tomorrow, probably today, I want to blend up an art bat in these same colours. That is just so pretty. It's so pretty. It's got the little hints of blue. It's got the touch of peach in there. The ever so soft butter yellow. And then the base of the cream and lots of sparkles to reflect the lights in Clara's dress in the back end of the film. So I'll try and turn you around because the light's absolutely pants. I do apologise. But there. And you can just see the Angelina in it. Hiya Tracy, you didn't get notification. Oh dear. Stick on the little bell on the subscription, and that should give you a notification when I come on. There we go. So that is one of the Rolags that will be called Queen Clara, and you'll find that in a week and a half's time. Yeah, it's a week and a half. Do you know, I've lost 2 weeks since I announced I was doing the virtual market again. Yeah, so they will be under the top category of Nutcracker Virtual Market. And it's even got the date on there as well, so you don't forget, or you can write it down. So I have sent out emails to people that subscribe on the website. If you haven't had them, go and check your spam box. Right, so I'm just going to go on to the next one. Oh, sorry, I should turn you around. There you go. So we're on the next one. And again, you can see how my rods sit out more than this one here. And that's because I like to have the one shorter on one side of my board. So when I go to take the Rolag off, sometimes you roll it too tight. Have you ever noticed that when you're doing Rolag? Sometimes you can end up with one that's really, really tight, and you can't get them off your dowels. Well, I do them so they're like that. And then if I can't get it out by pushing it with my thumb there, that single one, I put my hand on the 2 there. Hold on, I'm going to try and get an angle where you can actually see me. My hand on 2 there, and then this one's up, and then I can just push it out with my finger. Otherwise, if I've rolled it too tight accidentally, even though when you do this, sometimes if you do this too strong, like just go around and tidy up the Rolag, you're not realising that you're actually pushing the fibres more closer together, so it could end up tight. I literally use the side of my desk, hold it here, and just use the desk to wedge up that one down if I want to. But otherwise, if you've not done it too tight, you should be able to just scoop that through. There we go, that's another one done. Oh, they're so pretty. I'm really pleased with them, really pleased with them. I'll show you what they look like in a minute. Let me see if I can put a light on, because I forgot to put my hue light on, guys. I do apologise. Let me see if my light will work. And then you can actually see the colours that I'm working with a little bit better. Right. It's a little bit better. Not brilliantly, but better than what it was. Right, so do the next one. Take this last one off the... Right, so just gently lift that up. Oh, there's a bit of thread. Where's that come from? There we go. Start to drag them down. Lift it up a little bit more. And then just ever so gently lift it so it starts to come off the top of your tines at the top of the board, and then drag that down so you hopefully don't end up with a load of fuss at the top of your on your roll lag, which on the last one, no matter what I do, and I've been making roll lags up for years, and I still can't figure out how to get rid of this fuzz at the top. I mean, I could just leave the board like that and then end up with a load of what I would call waste, and I don't like waste. Call me a Scotswoman as much as you want, I am half Scottish. I do not like waste. Right, so there we have. I will finish these off later. We'll get on to another one, because I try and only keep these little demo chats quite short on a Wednesday. Right, there we go. Oh, I'm really pleased with those. Let's see if you can actually see them. Can you see the peachy colour sticking out, and then you've got those colours in there. Right, turn you around a little bit. Oh, crikey, Joe, you're a fool. Oh. Disaster zones, honestly. So, light's too bright. There we go, that's a bit better. So you can see the shine in there. And there's a little hints of blue, but not a lot. Then you've got the peachy colours, and then you've got the cream. So I'm really, really pleased with those. We'll stick them over there, and I will finish those off later, photograph them, get them on the Nutcracker page, and hide them for a week. Joe, that's evil. I know it is. You like them, Anne? Yeah, when I get the pictures of them, I might sneak a peek of them later on next week over on Instagram, so you can see what's coming up and what you'll be able to order for yourselves when they're available. So, obviously, Nutcrackers was originally a ballet. So I think what I will do is, shall I go for the land of opinions now? The land of snowflakes, or shall I do the ballerina dress, the white ballerina dress? Let me know. Well, I'm just thinking, I've got a base colour, but once I've got the base colour weighed up, I will need your opinions. Right, go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I've got this. That light's really bright. So I've got this, which is a really soft grey. Snowflakes, the land of snowflakes. Right, there's one opinion. Okay, land of snowflakes. Right. So I'll go with that, which is not a lot, but it's a nice amount. And we'll go with a dash of this, a dash of that. And see, this is where Joe goes off on a mini mission now, and some of that, and I think a little bit of this, because I won't be using that anymore. Right, I'm more or less doing that. Oh, right, okay. So, snowflakes, yeah, the land of snowflakes, Liz says. Right, so I'm going to use a little bit of this minty colour. Not a lot of it. I think I'll go with that much, and then I'll divide that up into 4. Just chuck that over there. And then I have got a mid-grey, because on the costumes, Phil says Snowflakes too. On the costumes of the realm guy, what's his name again? He's got a name and I was like, oh, that's a funny name. Can't remember it. Right, so we've got this mid-grey, because on the costume, it's like different shades of grey and stuff like that on his costumes. I'll pop that one over there. Then I've got this really, really off-coloured white, which is more of a cloud white. And again, I think I'm just going to go with that amount and plop that on there. So we're at 94 now. I've got Silver Angelina, which I'm going to go with. And this one is different from this one. And I've pointed this out before. There's two different types of Angelina. You have non-heat heat bondable, which is a stiffer one, and the non-heat bondable, which is a lot softer. Okay, now when you're felting, when you're a felter and you want to make things like fairy wings, you can put the Angelina between two pieces of greaseproof paper and put your iron above it and heat it through, and it will melt the heat bondable. That's why when you put it into art bats and stuff like that and you spin with it, if you put too much in, you can actually feel it in the wool. So it ends up a little bit scratchy. If you go for the non-heat bondable, which is the softer one, there's not a mass amount of colour options in that though, then you can actually use that in your hand spun wool, and it won't be scratchy. Not a thing in comparison to this. Just a hint there. Stellina's the same. It's Stellina's one that won't crunch up or whatever when you put it in the wash. Just saying. So what else have we got? We have got this, which is hand-dyed rose fibre that I have squirreled away from the Christmas advents because I've done them all. And I think I'm going to go with, mulberry silk, and I think I will go with the dreaded, shall I go with the dreaded wool neps? I think I might. What else have I got? I'm in my box of stash. You never know what you find in here. Oh, actually, there we go. Some of that. That is baby camel. And I think I'll go with some of this as well, which is Egyptian cotton top, because I want to really get to 120 grams if possible. That's more than enough on that. I can always add something else. I could probably just go with a bit more mulberry silk to get to my 120. There we go, that's fine. Done. So we will do the silk one, the snowflake one. So I'll just point you down so you can see a little bit better. So again, I want to create my 4 piles. So I need to find my mulberry silk and then split that up. So get my Silver Angelina, because I'll need that in a minute. And then split that up, keep one to one side. Then I've got Egyptian cotton top. Now, Egyptian cotton top, you still want to blend with that and use it in peonies because it's a really, really short staple length. Look at that, that's tiny. You want to make them into peonies, not rolags, when you use them on their own. I'm just using them as a highlight. Right, so this is baby camel fluff. So I just want a bit for myself. There we go. Stick that there, because I want the textures. I want it to feel wintry. Then I've got my hand-dyed rose fibre. I'm going to split that again into 4. So I'm only using small amounts. I'm not using a lot. Right, so I've already split these. One there. 1 second. I haven't split that. These ones my highlights, aren't they? So 1, 2, 3, and down there. 1, 2, and there. Then I've got this lovely, lovely mint. So again, 1 there, and then split this in half, and then split that in half and put my, so I've got my 4 piles. my off-white is there, one there, one there, put aside, and now this one on its own. So this is going to be the crux of my main colours. This off-white, it's like a dove white. It's got a slightly grey tone to it. As everyone knows, and you cannot get white wool. You can't get, oh see there's clumps going. You cannot dye white wool. But if you have a merino or a fine micron count wool such as Rambouillet, South American top punto and Aries, if you add your wool, your roving into a small a dye bath with a very light grey and only a small amount of it, you can help get rid of that creamy colour, which will give you a off-white, or in your eye you can see it looks slightly grey, but it will give you that white look effect. There we go. So I'm just going to do this all along. Then I'm going to get my Angelina. And then I'm going to start adding in my colours. Has anybody got any questions or thoughts? Right, so see how floaty that is? That's your non-heat bondable. So when you work with it, it's very much like a stellina. Right, I'm going to be doing 2 layers of this Angelina. So if I've missed any patches, I know that I'm going to be going back to add a bit more. Okay, so I have next my grey. Christmassy. Yeah, well that's it. That's what I'm hoping for. So again, I'm going to do this a little bit wishy-washy like I did with Queen Clara's dress. So just there and a bit there. Put that to one side for a second and go in with my lovely aqua and do little streaks of this on top of the grey. There we go. Then I'm going to go in with my hand-dyed fibre because I want that blue look popping in. So I'm just going to take that off there and pull that across here. Then pack that down. Then I'm going to go in with my Egyptian cotton top, and I'm just going to split that into little sections because it's a really short staple length. It will come out a little bit clumpy, but I want to get this added in now because I would like it to pop through on the Rolex. It feels a little bit like working with Angora rabbit fibre. Then I want to go in with my camel just to give that texture, because snow has that fluffy look about it, doesn't it? Even though it's flaming cold and frosty, it's got a fluffy look to it. So especially when it's freshly laid, we don't get that in the UK. We get hard, in your face snow, and we all complain about it when it gets here because it's not long till it turns into mush. Right, so there we go. That's that one done. Now I've got my mulberry silk left, so I'm just going to split that in half. And I'm going to try and evenly get this on my board. Because mulberry silk's a bit of a swine for working with because it's very, very, very slippy. There we go. Right. I'm going to go in now with my softer grey right over the top of that, and then I'm going to add some more Angelina once I pack this down. I've got some of this grey to go in the top as well. There we go, up there, bold patches up on the top. I'm going to pack this in again. go in with my Angelina again. I sort of try and grip a hold of the Angelina at the same time, because it's one of those really flighty fibres. Right, then I'm going to go in with my light grey, or my mid-tone grey. Try and find these bald spots. Get them in there like a snow cloud. There we go. In with the last of my rose fibre. I want to try and make sure I get some up the top, so that character's in there all the way through and not just in the first two of my roll lines. There we go. Last bit of fibre. So again, I'm going to split that in half while I'm working with it, so I can keep a hold of the fibres that I'm working with. And I still have the last of my mulberry silk, so I'm going to put that in now while I'm here. Try and make sure I get it at the top as well, not just in the bottom and the middle. There's quite a few layers that go into it, and I use the same method when I'm doing drum carding. Lots of layers, putting the fabric throughout your blend and not just in one layer. Means that you'll get more of a consistent blend or a yarn when you're working with it. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, if you're felting with your art bats or just a plain bat, but when you're spinning with it to make yarn, you really want to think about where the fibres are going. Are they all just going to come out on your first part of your yarn and you're not going to see them again through the rest of it? Hence the reason why I always make sure that my fibres are evenly distributed throughout the entire blend on every single layer. On the first 3 layers to get the character, I make sure that I repeat that at least another 3 times. There we go. So roll it up time. This is the last one, and then I'll let you go because my little chats are only supposed to be half an hour. No, I'm not going to... No more Angelina Joe. Right, both my dowel sticks. So again, shorter length up here, longer length over here. Get that bottom one under there properly. Roll it over. Roll that again. Gently lift up your bottom and start drafting it or dragging it down. Now remember, there's cotton neps in here and you've got your baby camel. So there is lumpy bits because I want it to look like snow. Right, so it's going to be a very subtle texture. Now the cotton bits and the baby camel will flatten out as you spin and work with them, but it's the effect that I want with it. But you may end up like the softest little woolly neps, the softest little cotton or camel neps. Look, oh, that's too bright. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There we go. There we go. So next one. So when you go up to pull it up to get your dowel underneath, bring in your corners, your edges here, so they curve in, so you catch them. These are gorgeous. You like them, Liz? Right. Over again. Lift up a little bit. I get to that point now that my thumbs aren't touching the bottom of the board, but I like to, just for an extra bit of leverage, use my tummy. It's going to be useful for something after you've had 3 kids. Right, so keep drafting that down. You can feel if you're doing it properly, you should be dragging it down the tines and they should be catching those fibres that you're pulling down. That'll do for that one. Oh, that's so gorgeous. And it feels really, really soft because it's got mulberry silk in there. It's got 23 micron count merino. It's got Angelina. It's got baby camel, and it's got cotton. Egyptian cotton, the good quality stuff, not the cheap stuff, but the really good quality cotton. There we go. So it just gives that added extra shine and luxurious feel. And it's going to look fantastic when you spin it up. When I do my Rolex, hence the 120 grams, I always think of a little project that you can do with 100 grams. Now, on average, if I'm doing singles, I can get about 350 yards of single spun yarn before I've even plied it. Then if I end up with a really good amount, then I can always get a cone wool, or if I've got cone silk or whatever that you use for weaving with, you can always ply it against that. So you can keep your 350 yards rather than lose them by plying, which you'll only end up with 175. You could knit yourself a lovely little pair of mittens out of them, but not much else. But if you keep with your 350 and then ply it with a lovely wool, you really like you like that too as well. And I do appreciate the comments, lovelies. So yeah, that's my way of thinking, and especially as I'm a weaver, I like to do that. Though to be fair, I do actually do it quite a lot. If I've got a cone yarn in that's a lace weight, I quite often spin it and ply up my singles, especially when I know that I don't have like if it's a bat that I've pinched off the website because it's not sold and I've been in love with it for ages, I'll spin that up as fine as I can and then ply it with, I've got a natural cotton downstairs and it's got a little bit of texture all the way through. I've had this cone for years and I still haven't used it up. It was a 10 kilo cone that I got from Wing and Will when I went on a sabbatical, as you do, a long time ago. And I'll use that as well. Let me just take his off and we'll, if I can swivel you around, look. So that is the land of snowflakes. Look at those. And then these ones are called Queen Clara. Look. And they're pretty. Really pleased with those. So I will get on with them and get them finished up. Then they'll get photographed and then hidden on the shop for the next week in a bit. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If any of you are on here or watching later on and you don't follow me over on Instagram, go and pop over there, follow me over on Instagram and keep a watch out. I do put up posts over the next week or so, just reminding you that I'll be doing a virtual Christmas market or a virtual festive market in the Nutcracker theme, and it's a bit like what I do here. People ask me to take bats off the shelves and open them up out their bags so they can have a proper look at them, because they've maybe had them in the cart on the website for a long time. I have got some little secret squirrel stuff going on in the background that only Liz knows about, which I always do something a little bit different. The room will be all decorated. Look, I've already started decorating the room. Bits and pieces, rovings that I'll be doing in the Nutcracker theme, Rolex I'm doing in the Nutcracker theme. There's a load of bats behind me that I've already done. You can't see what they are because even I don't know what they look like. They've not been opened up yet. So they're all getting put on the website over the next couple of days. I've got some new fabric that I want to get cut up and sewn next week. Hence I'm doing all this week so I can make up some new project bags in my new design, and maybe another one. I've got to figure that one out. I've got one brewing in my head. I need to figure out how to do it. So yeah, so that's what we've got going. Stitch markers, a couple of new stitch markers, some festive type things, and new roll counters. And I've been making these as well, little fairy charms with the little dragonflies on them and little diamante charms, little fairies and crystal balls, all in honour of the evil, the evil sugar plum fairy. So beads I've put together with fairy wings and silk tassels and crystal balls. So you've got these zip pulls that you can put on your coat, your handbag, or your project bag, or your accessories bag, or whatever it is. Nice little keepsakes. So they need to get photographed and put on the website as well. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much for your support. If you like this chat, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and it helps people find me that maybe never knew that I existed. And you, Anne, you have a lovely day as well, sweetie. Hope your voice gets better. And subscribe and hit that bell alert. Next time, I'm doing live chats every Wednesday on the run up to Christmas, because I won't be doing it in Advent until Christmas Eve, which will be 12 days of Advent from Christmas Eve all the way through to the new year. So I will be coming on every Wednesday up until Christmas week, and doing little chats and demos and things like that with you. So please do come and join us, and I will catch you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.